Havana Syndrome is a number of symptoms that started to be reported in Havana, Cuba, hence the name Havana Syndrome, in late November of 2016. It went on to 2017, 2018, and dozens of American and Canadian diplomats were affected by this syndrome, which included everything from headache, nausea, and dizziness to supposedly brain damage and hearing loss. And the theories are that it was initially an acoustical weapon using sound waves, and then it became microwaves and pulsed microwave energy weapon.
The diplomats in Havana, Cuba, was experiencing some intense sonic sensations, loud voices and so forth. And they were at a loss. In fact, they described it as a mystery because they could not find any causes that they can understand that is making it happen.
If it's pulsed microwave radiation, if you look at the first 21 patients who were affected, 8 of them recorded their attacks. Those recordings were later analyzed by a specialist group of scientists in 2018, and that report was kept secret. And they concluded that they were the mating call of the Indies short-tailed cricket. And look, with microwaves and the fray effect, there is no sound. The microwaves strike your head, and they stimulate a nerve in your ear, and it gives you the perception of a sound. But that sound is not a sound wave. It's a perception, and it's barely audible, and it comes as a barely audible clicking perception. That's not what was reported in Cuba.
Well, the reason that I believe it could be something like a pulsed microwave induced response is because the descriptions coming out of Cuba is, first of all, it's directed because you have to be in some area. If you're outside that area, that you will not hear it, and the people who are not in the same area, you will not hear it. And the area I'm talking about is not a stadium, it's inside a room. When a beam of microwave pulses, very short micropulses, like in the microsecond range, impinges on the head, the brain tissue absorbs the pulse and converts it into elastic expansion. And the elastic expansion is what produces acoustic waves in various material medium, including brain tissue. And that acoustic wave is then propagated within the brain and eventually will reach the inner ear cochlea, where it is detected as a sound. Some of the people says, well, you don't have to let me know. I already know. I can tell that the radar has been turned on. And the reason they they did that at that time was because essentially there's a microwave auditory effect. They hear it as a click. Of course, people did not know why at that time yet. So the reason they said that I can tell the radar has been turned on is because they heard something. Well, that something they heard was a click in the head. So, the radar operators and then after war reported this phenomenon, but no one believed them.
I've spent 35 years of my life in my academic career specializing in mass psychogenic illness. This is a classic standard outbreak of mass psychogenic illness. The real difficulty with this outbreak is you've got bad journalism in many areas, not all, but many, bad government, and bad science.
Until we find a culprit who actually identified, or we found a smoking gun and doing it on the spot, we really don't know. So all we can do is based on what we know about what could happen and suggest that this, above all, is the most plausible scientific explanation.